The G20 Anti-Corruption Work Group technical meeting chaired by South Africa's Special Investigative Unit is wrapping up today. It's been 3 days of what's been described as robust discussions between member states who are meeting to find mechanisms to combat corruption in the countries. SABC News reporter Abra Barbier and video journalist Itsolo have been following the program since day one.
Various anti-corruption NGOs and other stakeholders from the sector are presenting here at the Lord Charles Hotel in Somerset West, where the G20 Anti-Corruption Working Group technical meeting is taking place. It is the final day of this meeting. And of course, what has been discussed over the past few days is everything about how all member states want to combat and prevent corruption in their various countries. Something that stood out to me was how everybody said, corruption is something South Africa deals with and speaks about daily. And what I heard was that this is something that all countries are battling with. And this is why this meeting is so important to them, because they want to find ways and mechanisms to clamp down on corruption in their countries. Now, one of the priorities being presented by South Africa or being put on the table by South Africa, and of course this meeting is being chaired by Advocate Andy Mutibi, who is the head of our SIU, and they are corruption-busting unit, a corruption-busting arm of government. One of the priorities that our government wants to deal with is professionalizing the public service sector. This, of course, is because corruption happens at this point within the public sector. So people from outside can make connections with people inside government, and that is where the money gets lost, or the money gets spent, or the money gets diverted. So what the Minister of Public Service and Administration, Minister Buthelezi, was stressing is that the professionalization of this sector of government is so important. They spoke about going on a recruitment drive to find ethical leaders who are fit for purpose for these positions, so that ethics and integrity can filter down to staff at grassroots level. I asked them about ethics specifically and whether ethics is something that can be taught. And what the minister actually said was, he referred to in previous years, being a civil servant was seen as the highest calling for someone, and he said somewhere along the way that got lost. But he said that yes, ethics can be taught, but it needs to be instilled from a young age, and this is what government on its own can't teach. He said this needs to start within communities, within homes, within families, civil society, so that this can all then filter through to government services, departments, employees, who will then have a strong grasp of what ethics is and who will not want to steal from the state, so that we can clamp down on corruption in the country. This, of course, is currently being discussed and will carry on for the rest of the day. It is the final day of the meeting, and it is expected to wrap up later on this afternoon.